Nothing feels like a Mizuno, at least that's what they say. Today I have the brand new 2024 Mizuno Pro Blade irons, and these things are not jam-packed full of technology. You will not find much tech here to help your game or my game, but what a beautiful place we are to test these. We are in Whitby. We're in Fish and Chips later.
We are.
Fish and Chips later, and we're here on a special mission, but more about that later, because I've been putting off testing these for no real reason other than they haven't really lit my fire. They haven't really got me as excited as Mizuno irons in the past, and I'll get to that as well. But we're going to test the short irons to start with. We're going to work through the bag here. Guys, how good do these look? And I always think with Mizuno, it's a difficult task because they have to sort of reinvent them a little bit without totally going full bore and reinventing the wheel. So I think they've done a good job there. Personally, I think the cleaner the better when it comes to bladed irons. So we've got 140 yards here, we've got a 9 iron. Let's see. I mean, straight away looking down at this, Chris, bring this in and look at this blade length. They've actually made these look a little bit more traditional, if that was possible, and that's very reminiscent of the Mizuno MP32s, which for me were the best ever Mizuno irons. I still have a set in the garage and I bring them out quite often just to have a game with them. Funny story, my dad once had them. He was nowhere near good enough to have them, but I had them, my brother had them, and he went and got himself a set and he enjoyed them. And I think there's something to be said there, because so many people should maybe have a set of blade irons in there that they bring out a couple of times a year, both to let you know where your game is, but also just for a bit of fun somewhere here like Whitby. So, workability is what these clubs are all about. Let's see what we can do. Now that felt delightful. That felt very, very good, and we can go with all the cliches of nothing feels like a Mizuno time after time, but realistically, are these the best feeling iron in golf? Does that make a difference to you if they do feel good, and how do they have to perform? Let's hit a couple more. A gorgeous par 3 coming up as well here at Whitby. You know what? I feel like I should have tested these sooner, just based on the looks. It's another one. That's all over. You have to give it a club twirl as well when you have clubs like this, I feel like. That's 2 greens in a row. A little bit more fade on that than maybe what I wanted. Let's try and play a little draw in here. And the big thing realistically with these, I put myself off there, so I feel like I have to talk to you about it, is the price. £1,100. When you can get a set of Tacomos for less than half that, you can get a set of Calis. There's clubs out there now, Tour irons that we reviewed the other week. Can you justify spending that much money on a set of irons which, let's face it, may look beautiful, but under the hood certainly aren't helping your game at all? Turf interaction, I wouldn't expect anything less than perfect. Let's try and play a bit of a draw to that flag. The workability really is absolutely delightful. That's all over it. They feel fantastic. So guys, I must admit my day is looking up. We've been here since quite early this morning, actually filming a load of videos. Huge thanks to the guys at Whitby Golf Club for hosting us. A gorgeous place to test golf clubs, especially a set of bladed irons, but it stopped raining finally. We've just got absolutely soaked, and yeah, very, very happy now. It stopped raining, the wind's up, which I quite like on a nice links style golf course, a nice coastal golf course, and just a nice day to take it all in. And realistically, when it comes to it there, I'm quite happy with those 3 shots. The latter one was the better one, the draw going a little bit further than the 2 faders that we played, but hit the greens 3 times in a row from 135, probably 140 yards into a little bit of wind. It's going to take it all day long. If we start thinking about tour averages and things like that, all of a sudden you do start to realise that we're not potentially as good as we think we are, but some nice stoppage there on them as well. You can see a bit of backspin from that one and a nice bit of stoppage from that final shot as well, which is what you would expect really from a bladed iron with traditional lofts, we could say. Okay guys, I challenge you to find a nicer tee box than this for a gorgeous looking par 3 coming up. As you can see, front flag, try and get your words out there, James. Front flag central, so a nice attacking one. Let's try and hit some full board iron shots here. It's only 140 yards, so again we're going to go with that 9 iron but full shots now. It's playing 155 yards, so we're going to play A couple of nice chippy 7 irons again. I don't feel like these are the irons you wouldn't be necessarily buying if you wanted power irons and them to go a long way. These are the irons that you buy when you want to play shots, work shots, manufacture shots into the wind and the conditions like this. Again with this 7 iron, just a beautiful looking club, and getting to take the wrapper off these is my favourite thing to do in the world. Guys, would you have these in the bag based on the looks? And that looks so much like a 32. It really does. Right, wind off left, a nice low flighted one. That could work to be absolutely wonderful. Go on, go on. Front edge, nice strike. We can play these low, which is everything you do want from these clubs really. You want to be able to pick your trajectory. Can we play a draw into that wind? Oh, that is all over it. That could go in. Ah, that was so close. That was so close, and it was everything we wanted from the ball flight as well. It's released out a little bit more, but let's go full 9 iron now and see just how close we can get with a full-blooded one. Can we get distance out of these clubs if we want to? Be the club. Be the club. These are really good, by the way. And I probably owe Mizuno a bit of an apology because these have been in my garage for a long time. And now I want them in the bag. Yes, please. And the funny thing is, when it comes to distance with these irons, I'm not going to say they're going to be overly forgiving because, like we said, there's not a lot of technology in there. Whatever tech is in there is just a little bit of weighting sporadically around the face to maybe help you a touch. Turf interaction, as we've seen out in the wet and windy Whitby Golf Club, is phenomenal. So we've got the 7 iron here, and a 7 iron for me is usually around 165 yards. So realistically, I would anticipate that here on the Two Vision system with around a 6,000 spin. I'm quite a low spin player anyway, so that's what we see. And that immediately felt really nice. Taking off where we left off, 6,700 spin, so a really nice number, and that's pitched at 161, 168 total. Quite nice. It's launching at 20 degrees, and it was a tiny bit toey actually, so I'm surprised we've managed to gain that backspin. We've lost a couple of yards maybe. Oh my, that felt unbelievable. That felt phenomenal. It's exactly the same, 162, 169 total, 7,000 backspin. Have Mizuno unlocked something here where we're actually starting to get even more control and consistency? Oh, I've hit that heavy. That really wasn't good. How far is that going to go? 158, 3 yard miss. 3 yard miss, still spinning at 6,000, heavy. And the thing is here, guys, if you want a golf club that's overly forgiving, if you're a mid-to-high handicap golfer, you're working on getting your game down, these probably aren't going to be the irons for you. If you play golf for the fun of it, you're a bit of a traditionalist like I am, you like having something that just looks absolutely sexy in the bag, then these might be the irons for you. There might be an iron the way you just think, you know what, I'm going to treat myself, similar to my dad did when he got the MP32s back in the day, and just enjoy them. That's like the best 7 iron I can actually hit. That's gone a long way. That's gone like 170 something, must have done. 167. So with that front to gap dispersion isn't that big, still spinning at 6.4, and if I anticipated a shot like that went a little bit further, I think, oh, the spin must have dropped to like 4,500, but it's not done. It's still really, really consistent, and I'm really happy with these numbers we're getting with these new Mizuno blades. I've just thought, I haven't said the actual name of them once in this video. It's the Mizuno Pro 241. So nobody can complain now because I've said the actual name on them. Guys, let's get back out on the golf course, back into the rain, unfortunately, and let's see what we really think to these clubs. I've hit that as hard as I physically could. That's got to be like 180. I've pulled it a bit as well. 173. Left. And so guys, yes, these are the bladed versions of the new Mizuno Pro irons, and we do have the hollow bodied version to come. We have the cavity back version to test as well. And I'm actually really looking forward to those because realistically, Now the drivers are all done, the driver reviews are in the bank and everyone's seen them. The fairway woods are pretty much there as well. I've got a couple of fairway woods to test as well today. Irons then are the next logical step, and for me, I always look forward to the Mizuno irons because you get that feedback, you get that sense of achievement when you strike one well. Now let's test the long irons and see just how forgiving they could maybe be, because we've got some stunning holes coming up to test them on, and although these aren't full of technology, there's a little bit in there that could maybe help us. Should we have them in the bag? Probably not. Will we have them in the bag? Okay, a gorgeous hole here to test the long iron in these blades. And how many people would necessarily go right up to 5-iron with these clubs? Would you be tempted to potentially go CBs in the mid irons, hollow bodied in the long irons, or even just a nice blended set of the 241s, 243s in low and mid irons? You see, I like how they've put the 241 there as well to keep it a nice clean blade look. For me, that's a master stroke by Mizuno. Let's take that off, because again, look at that. There's nothing more enjoyable than that. 3 shots with the 5-iron. How close together can we get them? Where do you reckon to aim, like at the shed? Okay, that felt nice little fade off that left side. Not sure how far that will have gone. Be really interested to test that against some more. The exact line I wanted, to be fair. Another similar one. That was a bit more heely, so that might have a touch of drop off, but it's on the fairway again, so we've got the fairway twice there. What about that draw that we always speak about on the channel? Ow. Okay, the draw didn't quite materialise, and that might be one gone. That really hurt as well. You know, the fairy tale almost comes to an abrupt end. I think that was it. So you see, the interesting thing is, I hit the first one really good. The second one was okay, a little bit heely. I would have thought I would lose quite a lot of distance there. The third one was just a bad golf swing. Whether or not a more forgiving club would maybe have a little bit more launch. I mean, that ball's lost. It's down on the beach there. But the other two bang next to each other in this fairway, and realistically, that's where I almost think there's something in these clubs unless you put this golf swing on it. Because if you put this golf swing on it, you're really going to struggle. But if I want to really enjoy testing these, I might do like a comparison video if that's what you guys want to see. But I'm going to leave you on another lovely little short iron, because the short irons are the ones where a lot of people might think, you know what, just for the sake of having them in, I'll put those in the bag, maybe a wedge 9 and 8. And I certainly wouldn't blame you. The one thing putting me off would maybe be the price. Guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all at the same time tomorrow. That feels so nice, so nice.